You are standing at the edge of your potential, gazing out at a horizon filled with endless possibilities. What do you see? Do you see obstacles, or do you see opportunities? Do you see limitations, or do you see a canvas waiting for your unique brushstrokes? The difference between these perspectives is what separates the champions from the spectators, the dreamers from the achievers, the extraordinary from the ordinary. Today, we are going to explore the mindset of champions. We are going to delve into the very essence of what makes some individuals rise above the rest, what propels them to heights that others only dream of reaching. This is not about talent or luck. It is about a state of mind, a way of thinking that transforms the impossible into the inevitable. Your thoughts create your reality. This is not some new age mumbo-jumbo. It is a principle as old as time itself. The ancient wisdom traditions have always known this, and now modern science is catching up. Quantum physics tells us that the observer affects the observed. In simpler terms, what you focus on expands. Your thoughts are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of the universe. What are you planting? Champions understand this at a deep level. They know that their thoughts are not just passive observers of reality, but active creators of it. They cultivate their minds with the same dedication that an Olympic athlete trains their body. They weed out negative thoughts like a gardener pulling out invasive species. They nurture positive, empowering thoughts like a parent nurturing a child. But it's not just about positive thinking. It is about aligned thinking. Champions align their thoughts with their deepest values and their highest aspirations. They do not just think about what they want. They think from the perspective of already having it. This subtle shift makes all the difference. Imagine for a moment that you have already achieved your wildest dreams. How does it feel? What does your day look like? How do you carry yourself? Champions live from this place. They embody their future self in the present moment. This is not fake it till you make it. This is be it till you see it. Talk about fear. Is the great enemy of achievement the silent killer of dreams? But champions have a different relationship with fear. They understand that fear is just false evidence appearing real. They see fear not as a stop sign, but as a signpost pointing towards growth. Think about us. What's on the other side of your fear? It is always something you want. The fear of public speaking. On the other side is the ability to inspire thousands, the fear of starting a business. On the other side is financial freedom and the chance to make a real difference in the world. Champions do not let fear stop them. They let it guide them. But how do they do this? It is simple, but not easy. They feel the fear and do it anyway. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear. It is the triumph over it. Every time you face a fear, you grow stronger. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, it expands. Champions are constantly pushing this boundary, constantly challenging themselves to grow. Talk about failure. In our society, failure is often seen as something to be avoided at all costs. But champions have a different perspective. They see failure not as the opposite of success, but as a stepping stone to it. They understand that failure is not a person. It is an event. You are not your failures. You are your response to them. Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This is the mindset of a champion. They see each failure as a lesson, each setback as a setup for a comeback. They fail forward using each experience as fuel for their journey. But here is the thing. Champions do not just learn from their failures. They celebrate them. They understand that each failure is proof that they're pushing their boundaries, that they're playing a bigger game. In their eyes, the only real failure is not trying. The power of purpose. Champions are driven by something greater than themselves. They have a why that makes anyhow possible. This purpose acts like a compass, guiding them through the storms of life, helping them stay the course when others would give up. What's your purpose? What gets you out of bed in the morning? What would you do even if you were not paid for it? These are the questions champions constantly ask themselves. They understand that success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. They align their actions with their purpose, creating a life of meaning and impact. But purpose is not just about personal fulfillment. It is about contribution. Champions understand that true fulfillment comes from giving, not getting. They ask not what the world can do for them, but what they can do for the world. They see their talents and abilities not as personal possessions, but as gifts to be shared with the world. This brings us to another crucial aspect of the champion's mindset: abundance. Champions operate from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. They understand that there's enough for everyone, that someone else's success doesn't diminish their own. This mindset allows them to collaborate rather than compete, to lift others as they rise. Have you ever lit a candle from another candle? Did the first candle lose any of its light? Of course not. Light, like success, is not a finite resource. The more we share, the more we have. Champions understand this at a deep level. They're not afraid to share their knowledge, to mentor others, to contribute to the success of those around them. But abundance is not just about material success. It is a way of looking at the world. Champions see opportunities where others see obstacles. They see lessons in setbacks, gifts and challenges. They understand that life is always happening for them, not to them. This perspective allows them to maintain a sense of gratitude, even in the face of adversity. Gratitude, in fact, is another cornerstone of the champion's mindset. They understand that gratitude is not just a feeling. It is a practice. They actively cultivate gratitude, knowing that what they appreciate appreciates. They do not wait for good things to happen to feel grateful. They feel grateful, and then good things happen. Start each day by listing 5 things you're grateful for. Do this for 21 days and watch how it transforms your life. You'll start to notice more good things happening, more synchronicities, more luck. This is not magic. It is simply the result of training your mind to focus on the positive. Talk about discipline. Champions understand that motivation is fleeting, but discipline is reliable. They do not wait for inspiration to strike. They create it through consistent. They understand that success is not about making the right choices. It is about making choices and then making them. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when you'd rather sleep in. It is what keeps you working when you'd rather be playing. It is what makes you stick to your diet when you'd rather indulge. Champions cultivate discipline like a muscle, knowing that the more they use it, the stronger it becomes. But here's the kick. Champions do not see discipline as a burden. They see it as a tool for freedom. They understand that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It is what turns dreams into reality, potential. The concept of potential. Champions understand that they are not their past, their circumstances, or even their present abilities. They are their potential plus their willingness to act on it. They see themselves not as finished products, but as works in progress, constantly evolving, constantly growing. This growth mindset is crucial. Champions do not believe in fixed abilities or innate talents. They believe in the power of effort, learning, and persistence. They understand that the brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. This mindset allows them to embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, and see effort as the path to mastery. But growth is not just about acquiring new skills or knowledge. It is about expanding your sense of what's possible. Champions are constantly challenging their own limitations, pushing past their comfort zones. They understand that comfort is the enemy of growth, that the magic happens outside the comfort zone. Resilience to another crucial aspect of the champion's mindset. Resilient. Life will knock you down. That's a given. The question is, will you get back up? Champions have an unshakable resilience. They bounce back from setbacks stronger than before. They understand that it is not about how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. Resilience is not about being tough or unemotional. It is about having the mental flexibility to adapt to change, to find opportunity in adversity. Champions cultivate resilience through self-care, through building strong support networks, and they understand that every storm passes, that this too shall pass. Talk about focus. In today's world of constant distractions, the ability to focus is a superpower. Champions have mastered this skill. They understand that where focus goes, energy flows. They are ruthless about eliminating distractions and laser focused on their goals. But focus is not just about doing more. It is about doing what matters. Champions are clear about their priorities. They understand that you can do anything, but not everything. They say no to good things so they can say yes to great things. They do not major in minor things. This clarity of focus extends to their self-talk. Champions are mindful of the conversations they have with themselves. They understand that the most important conversations are the ones you have with yourself. They replace self-doubt with self-belief, criticism with encouragement, limitation with positive. But self-belief is not about ego or arrogance. It is about self-trust. Champions trust themselves to figure things out, to learn what they need to learn, to become who they need to become. This self-trust gives them the courage to take risks, to step into the unknown, to pursue their dreams with conviction. Talk about time. Champions have a different relationship with time. They do not see time as something to be killed or passed. They see it as their most valuable resource. They invest their time rather than spend it. They understand that how you spend your days is how you spend your life. But it's not just about being busy. Champions understand the difference between being busy and being productive. They focus on effectiveness over efficiency. They ask not just, am I doing things right, but am I doing the right things? They understand that activity is not necessarily accomplishment. This brings us to the power of presence. Champions understand that the present moment is all we ever have. They do not dwell on the past or worry about the future. They bring their full attention to the here and now. This presence allows them to perform at their peak, to fully engage with life, to find joy in the journey, not just the destination. But presence is not just about performance. It is about peace. Champions cultivate inner peace as the foundation for outer success. They understand that true success comes from a place of inner calm, not frantic activity. They practice mindfulness meditation or whatever helps them center themselves amidst the chaos of life. Talk about relationships. Champions understand that no one succeeds alone. They cultivate strong, supportive relationships. They surround themselves with people who uplift them, challenge them, and bring out their best. They understand that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But it is not just about what they can get from relationships. Champions are givers. They add value to every interaction. They listen deeply, empathize genuinely, and support wholeheartedly. They understand that the quality of their life is directly proportional to the quality of their relationships. This brings us to the concept of service. Champions understand that true fulfillment comes from contribution. They ask not what can I get, but what can I give? They see their success not as a means to elevate themselves, but as a platform to make a difference in the world. But service is not about sacrificing yourself. It is about aligning your gifts with the world's needs. Champions find where their passion intersects with the world's pain, and they pour themselves into that intersection. They understand that the secret to living is giving. Talk about balance. In a world that often glorifies hustle and grind, champions understand the importance of balance. They know that sustainable success requires harmony between work and rest, ambition and contentment, doing and being. They work hard, but they also play hard. They pursue their goals with passion, but they also take time to smell the roses. But balance is not about perfect equilibrium. It is about dynamic harmony. Champions understand that different areas of life require different levels of attention at different times. They're flexible, adjusting their focus as needed, always keeping an eye on the big picture. The power of visualization. Champions use the power of their imagination to create the reality. They see it before they see it, if you know what I mean. They create vivid, detailed mental images of their desired outcomes, engaging all their senses. This is not daydreaming. It is mental rehearsal. But visualization is not just about seeing the end result. Champions visualize the process, the steps they need to take, the obstacles they might face, and how they'll overcome them. This mental preparation gives them an edge when they face these situations in real life. Talk about energy. Champions understand that energy, not time, is their most precious resource. They manage their energy with the same care that a top athlete manages their physical condition. They are mindful of what energizes them and what drains them. They create habits and routines that support high energy levels. But it is not just about physical energy. Champions cultivate mental, emotional, and spiritual energy as well. They feed their minds with empowering information, they nurture positive emotions, and they connect with their deeper sense of purpose. They understand that peak performance requires alignment of all these aspects of self. The power of decisiveness. Champions are decisive. They do not waffle or procrastinate. They gather the necessary information, weigh their options, and then they act. They understand that a good decision now is better than a perfect decision later. But decisiveness is not about being impulsive. It is about being clear on your values and priorities. Champions make decisions based on their long-term vision, not short-term comfort. They're willing to make tough choices, to sacrifice what they want now for what they want most. Talk about adaptability. In a world of rapid change, the ability to adapt is crucial. Champions are flexible. They're not wedded to one way of doing things. They're willing to pivot when circumstances change. They see change not as a threat, but as an opportunity to grow and improve. But adaptability is not about being wishy-washy. It is about having a strong core and flexible edges. Champions are clear about their values and goals, but flexible about how they achieve them. They understand that there are many paths to success. The power of continuous learning. Champions are lifelong learners. They have an insatiable curiosity, a hunger for knowledge and growth. They read voraciously. They seek out mentors. They learn from their experiences. They understand that. In a world of constant change, the ability to learn and adapt is the ultimate competitive advantage. But learning is not just about accumulating information. It is about applying what you learn. Champions are quick to implement new ideas, to experiment, to test their understanding in the real world. They understand that knowledge without action is merely philosophy. Talk about the power of belief. Champions have unwavering belief in themselves and their vision. They understand that belief is a choice, and they choose to believe in their ability to succeed. This belief gives them the courage to take risks, to persevere in the face of setbacks, to keep going when others would give up. But belief is not blind optimism. It is grounded in reality, in self-knowledge, and preparation. Champions do the work to build their skills, to develop their talents, to create a solid foundation for their success. Their belief is the result of this preparation meeting opportunity. The concept of flow. Champions know how to get into a state of flow, that magical state where time seems to disappear and you are fully immersed in what you're doing. They create conditions that facilitate flow, clear goals, immediate feedback, a balance between challenge and skill. But flow is not just about peak performance. It is about enjoyment, about finding joy in the process, not just the outcome. Champions love what they do. They're passionate about their work. This passion fuels their persistence, their resilience, their willingness to put in the hours of practice and preparation. Talk about the power of habits. Champions understand that we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. They create habits that support their goals, that move them closer to their vision every single day. They understand that small, consistent actions compound over time to create extraordinary results. But habits are not just about discipline. They're about creating a lifestyle that supports your goals. Champions design their environment to make good habits easy and bad habits difficult. They understand that willpower is a finite resource, and they use it wisely. The power of self-awareness. Champions have a deep understanding of themselves, their strengths, their weaknesses, their values, their motivations. This self-awareness allows them to leverage their strengths, to work on their weaknesses, to align their actions with them. But self-awareness is not just about navel-gazing. It is about honest self-assessment and continuous improvement. Champions are willing to look at themselves objectively, to acknowledge their flaws, and to work tirelessly on becoming better versions of themselves. They understand that the only person they're really competing with is the person they were yesterday. This self-awareness extends to their emotions as well. Champions have high emotional intelligence. They're able to recognize and manage their emotions, to empathize with others, to navigate complex social situations. They understand that success is not just about what you know, but how you relate to others. The power of commitment. Champions are all in. They do not dabble. They immerse themselves fully in their chosen path. They understand that commitment is the foundation of all achievement. Without it, talent is wasted, but commitment is not about being rigid or inflexible. It is about staying true to your vision while being open to different ways of achieving it. Champions are committed to their goals, not to their methods. They're willing to adjust their approach, to try new strategies, to do whatever it takes to succeed. Talk about the power of language. Champions are mindful of the words they use, both in their self-talk and in their communication with others. They understand that language shapes reality. They use empowering language, replacing I have to with I get to, I can't with how can I. They understand that the questions they ask determine the answers they get. But it is not just about positive affirmations. It is about aligning their language with their values and goals. Champions speak as if they've already achieved their goals. They embody their future selves in their words. This is not wishful thinking. It is a powerful way of programming their subconscious mind for success. The power of creativity. Champions are innovative thinkers. They're not content with the status quo. They're always looking for new and better ways of doing things. They understand that creativity is not just for artists. It is a crucial skill in any field. They cultivate their creativity through diverse experiences, through challenging their assumptions, through embracing ambiguity and uncertainty. But creativity is not just about coming up with wild ideas. It is about finding practical solutions to real problems. Champions use their creativity to overcome obstacles, to find opportunities where others see challenges, to create value in unique ways. The power of health and wellness. Champions understand that their body is the vehicle through which they experience life and achieve their goals. They prioritize their physical health through regular exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest. They know that a healthy body supports a healthy mind, and both are crucial for peak performance. But health is not just about physical fitness. It is about holistic wellness and mental, emotional, and spiritual health as well. Champions understand the interconnectedness of all aspects of their being. They cultivate practices that support their overall well-being, recognizing that true success is impossible without good health. Talk about the power of imagination. Champions are visionaries. They can see possibilities that others cannot. They use their imagination not just to dream big, but to solve problems, to innovate, to create new realities. They understand that everything that exists in our world once existed only in someone's imagination. But imagination is not just about fantasy. It is a practical tool for success. Champions use their imagination to rehearse scenarios, to visualize success, to explore different options. They understand that the quality of their imagination determines the power of forgiveness. Champions understand that holding on to grudges and resentments only holds them back. They practice forgiveness of others and of themselves. They understand that forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful actions. It means freeing yourself from the burden of anger and bitterness. But forgiveness is not about forgetting or pretending everything is okay. It is about acknowledging hurt, learning from it, and choosing to move forward. Champions use forgiveness as a tool for personal growth and emotional freedom. They understand that the ability to forgive is a sign of strength, not weakness. Talk about the power of mentorship. Champions seek out mentors and become mentors themselves. They understand the value of learning from those who have gone before them. They're humble enough to seek guidance and wise enough to offer it to others. They understand that mentorship is a two-way street. You learn as much from mentoring others as you do from being mentored. But mentorship is not about blind following or creating carbon copies. It is about learning principles and adapting them to your own unique situation. Champions understand that the best mentors do not give you all the answers. They help you ask better questions. The concept of purpose once more, but from a different perspective. Champions understand that purpose is not something you find. It is something you create. They do not wait for their purpose to reveal itself. They actively shape it through their choices and actions. They understand that purpose is not a destination, but a journey. But purpose is not just about grand visions or world-changing missions. It is about finding meaning in the everyday. Champions infuse purpose into all aspects of their lives, their work, their relationships, their leisure time. They understand the life of purpose is a life of fulfillment. The power of community. Champions understand that while personal responsibility is crucial, we are all interconnected. They build and nurture communities of colleagues, friends, supporters. They understand that a rising tide lifts all boats, that collective success is more powerful and sustainable than individual achievement. But community is not just about surrounding yourself with like-minded people. It is about embracing diversity, learning from different perspectives, challenging each other to grow. Champions create communities that are supportive yet challenging, nurturing yet stimulating. The power of simplicity. Champions have the ability to simplify complex situations. They can cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters. They understand that in a world of increasing complexity, the ability to simplify is a crucial skill. They know how to break down big goals into manageable steps, how to communicate complex ideas in simple terms. But simplicity is not about oversimplification or ignoring complexity. It is about finding clarity amidst chaos, about focusing on the essential. Champions use simplicity as a tool for effectiveness and efficiency. They understand that the height of sophistication is simplicity. The power of stillness. In a world that glorifies busyness, champions understand the value of stillness. They create space in their lives for quiet reflection, for deep thinking, for simply being. They understand that some of the most powerful insights come not from doing more, but from being still. But stillness is not about inactivity. It is about inner calm amidst outer activity. Champions cultivate an inner stillness that allows them to remain centered and focused even in the midst of chaos. They understand that true power comes from a place of the power of solitude. Champions understand the value of alone time. They create space in their lives for solitude, for deep work, for introspection. They understand that while collaboration is important, some of the most creative and productive work happens in solitude. But solitude is not about isolation. It is about intentional alone time that rejuvenates and inspires. Champions use solitude as a tool for clarity, creativity, and self-discovery. They understand that the ability to be alone with your thoughts is a crucial skill in a world full of distractions. The power of systems thinking. Champions understand that everything is interconnected. They see patterns and relationships where others see isolated events. They understand that success in any area of life is the result of a system of habits, beliefs, and actions working together. They focus on optimizing systems rather than fixating on individual outcomes. But systems thinking is not about ignoring details. It is about understanding how the details fit into the bigger picture. Champions use systems thinking to solve complex problems, to create sustainable success, to affect meaningful change. They understand that changing the system is more powerful than changing individual components. The concept of flow once more, but from a different angle. Champions do not just experience flow. They create it. They design their work and lives to facilitate flow states. They understand the conditions that lead to flow. Clear goals, immediate feedback, a balance of challenge and skill. And they create these conditions intentionally. But flow is not just about productivity or performance. It is about enjoyment, about being fully alive in the moment. Champions understand that flow is one of the keys to a fulfilling life. They seek to create not just peak performance, but peak experiences. The power of contrarian thinking. Champions are not afraid to go against the grain. They question assumptions, challenge conventional wisdom, think outside the box. They understand that breakthrough ideas often come from thinking differently from everyone else. They're willing to stand alone if that's what their convictions require. But contrarian thinking is not about being different for the sake of being different. It is about independent thinking, about forming your own opinions based on careful analysis rather than blindly following the crowd. Champions use contrarian thinking as a tool for innovation, for creating competitive advantage, for seeing opportunities that others miss. The power of synthesis. Champions have the ability to integrate diverse ideas, to see connections between seemingly unrelated concepts. They draw inspiration and insights from various fields and experiences. They understand that some of the most powerful innovations come from combining existing ideas in new ways. But synthesis is not about random combinations. It is about thoughtful integration, about finding meaningful connections. Champions use synthesis as a tool for creativity, for problem solving, for developing unique perspectives. They understand that in a world of increasing specialization, the ability to synthesize is a rare and valuable skill. The power of self-compassion. Champions are kind to themselves. They understand that self-criticism and negative self-talk are counterproductive. They treat themselves with the same compassion and understanding they would offer a good friend. They understand that self-compassion is not self-indulgence. It is a crucial component of resilience and mental health. But self-compassion is not about making excuses or lowering standards. It is about acknowledging your humanity, accepting your imperfections, and still striving for excellence. Champions use self-compassion as a tool for emotional regulation, for maintaining motivation in the face of setbacks, for fostering a growth. The concept of Kaizen, or continuous improvement. Champions are committed to getting a little bit better every day. They understand that small, consistent improvements compound over time to create extraordinary results. They focus on progress, not perfection. They understand that the journey of self-improvement is never... But Kaizen is not about constant dissatisfaction with the present. It is about appreciating where you are while always looking for ways to improve. Champions use Kaizen as a philosophy for life, applying it not just to their work, but to all areas of their lives. They understand that life is a continuous process of becoming.